Crackbacks, we're back again. It's Thursday. It's going to be coming out on Friday on all of your channels. There we got BG right below me. Got my man Ricky Leaky on the side. The Silver Fox, a.k.a. the old man, one who will be king. Sage is in the upper corner. Then we got a new one in the building to my left here. Everyone say hello to Isan. Isan Win here. This is our boxing historian and boxing expert. He's in here this week here because we're going to start off the show. We're chatting about my favorite boxer of all time, Mike Tyson, coming back to the ring, baby. How do you feel about that?
Wait a minute. First of all, is he coming back to the ring? I need to know.
He's back. He's back. He's coming back. He's in shape. He's training.
Right, but what he's training for, as I understand it, I just want to make sure. I've been out of the loop. I won't lie, but he's coming back for some charity matches and things like that. He's not talking about fighting professionals, or is he?
Well, he's already been offered that bare knuckle boxing league. They already offered him $20 million off the rip just to say he's going to come back. Then on top of that, he's going to negotiate a contract to fight Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs said he's already down, ready to sign the contract. It's ready to go. Then after that, Dana White caught wind of this and might invite him to the UFC. De La Hoya might bring him into the zone, whatever boxing shit they got. It's fucking Mike Tyson, dude.
Basically, that's what you're saying is he's going to get paid. He's going to fight somewhere.
And I've seen film of him training, bro. He is ready. He's moving around like a monster. He's cracking mitts.
He's way better than Sage.
And they showed a picture of him. They showed a picture of him from last year when he had a little bit of a gut. And then this year, and he is shredded. He's ready to go.
Okay.
What does that matter?
So with all that being said,
what do you mean? What does it matter? Boxers train to box.
He's 53 years old. You said he's shredded. I don't give a shit how jacked he is.
So what question is that? What does it matter?
But wasn't he the one that said that like everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth? Like he can look good hitting pads, you know.
Exactly. He can look good in the gym for a 53-year-old guy, but he ain't fighting nobody.
Man. Sage, I'm shocked that you would hate on somebody. I'm shocked that you would hate on a superior athlete.
I'll address this in pieces. Let me explain. So Getz says, first of all, the Shannon Briggs fight, okay, that's doable because Shannon Briggs is 46, 47 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mike, I just bumped into Shannon Briggs, 2 weeks before COVID. I bumped into him at Tootsie's. I'm cool with Shannon Briggs. I like Shannon Briggs. Very, very friendly guy, cool guy. I've had, dapped him up, had drinks with the guy. He's a cool dude.
You just signed yourself up for getting Shannon Briggs on the show.
Dude, our boxer friends should meet each other.
So I could see him. That fight makes some sense, and would I watch it? Yes, but to me, that's a novelty type of a fight. If you're talking,
it's Mike Tyson, man. You're gonna watch it no matter what.
I hear you, and
on pay-per-view,
but you know who else looks good hitting the bag? Me. I look real good.
Were you a heavyweight world champion at 20 years old?
No.
But were you the most devastating knockout artist we've ever seen?
He will.
Were you? Were you?
No, not even close.
Okay.
But I will say this: if you're asking me two questions, can he come back and beat somebody like Shannon Briggs? Yes. Can he come back and compete in a heavyweight division at a high level?
No.
The answer is
nobody
no.
ever said that though. Nobody ever said that.
The internet is all
now,
buzz.
But that's what the question is. I have guys asking me like, "Yo, can he beat Deontay Wilder?" And guys, and listen, man, the answer is no. And I'm not even a Deontay Wilder fan, but I'm just being.
He could never handle the taller. The taller boxers always gave him problems.
So, he can't beat any of those dudes, man. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, he can't beat any of them.
We're going to put Deontay Wilder in a 60-pound costume before the fight starts to balance everything out.
If he keeps the costume on during the fight, yes. Then Mike has a great shot.
I think you're cutting Mike short. I think if Mike touches him in the first round, Mike.
No, the first round.
Mike can still put people to sleep in 2020.
You're right.
Yeah,
he can do that.
But he was never a good boxer. He was never a good boxer. He was just a knockout guy.
You realize how Wilder.
What's the point of the sport? What's the point of the sport? Sage?
Not only that, not only that. Gets one of the reasons I wanted to have Hassan on here because I knew Sage was going to say that. Mike Tyson was an excellent defensive boxer. Mike Tyson had excellent hand movement, head movement, everything. Mike Tyson was a technically sound boxer, but he was a vicious puncher, and that's all people remember.
Dude, once he fought actual boxers, like he would lose.
He knocked out everybody he fought.
No.
Let's
be fair.
Well, up until he started lithium, then he got knocked out.
Wait. No. So I hear what Sage is saying, which is too far out of bounds. Like he's saying that once Mike stepped up and fought somebody, he lost. That's not true. He knocked out pretty much everybody. Think about this too. Here's what people don't remember about Mike Tyson. People do remember this, but they don't factor in it as much as they do with Muhammad Ali. Mike lost 3 years of his elite prime, just like Ali, right? He went to jail, came back, was never the same. Mike,
different trainers. He was on drugs.
That's the biggest thing.
The
viciousness was gone.
And once, like Mike with Cus D'Amato versus Mike once he went with Don King is two different people. Like
exactly.
It's totally two different fighters. To me, the Mike that was with Cus D'Amato, and I've said this before, I don't think anybody beats that Mike Tyson.
That's not even true.
You're taking Muhammad.
I'm saying that the person that would come the closest to me,
Holyfield would beat him. Then Holyfield still would have beat him. Yes, he would not. Yes, he would not. You guys are shortchanging Holyfield. Holyfield is a good fucking champ.
Whoa. Holyfield, listen.
Holyfield too small.
Holyfield at that time, Holyfield was a light heavyweight. He was an overachieving light heavyweight as well. He was kind of like the Michael Spinks type of guy of that time.
Plus
he was bigger though.
Will drain your energy.
But at that time, the big fight was supposed to be Holyfield coming up to heavyweight to fight Tyson after Tyson had beaten Spinks. Holyfield was supposed to come up and fight him. They couldn't negotiate. Things didn't happen. People thought at that time, okay, Holyfield would be a good opponent, but he wouldn't have beaten. I honestly don't think that the Mike Tyson that you saw against Spinks, the Mike Tyson you saw against Larry Holmes, the prime Mike Tyson before he went to jail, the only person that I think I would say it's a toss-up fight at that time, I would say a prime Muhammad Ali. A prime version of him. Now, are there other fighters that would give him problems?
I mean,
yes.
If Lennox Lewis beat him, a lot of other guys are going to beat him except for Muhammad Ali. He ain't going to beat Muhammad Ali.
At his peak, though? Like, that's what I want to emphasize.
You're talking about before
State, shut your TV off. Or
I want to emphasize that I'm talking about Mike Tyson when he was like 21 years old. That Tyson.
I want to emphasize that you're talking about Muhammad Ali. And Mike Tyson would never, no version of Mike Tyson would have ever beaten Muhammad Ali.
I'm not too sure about that.
No way. Are you kidding me?
He couldn't handle Lennox Lewis.
And
he was
Joe
Frazier
handle Lennox Lewis.
Joe
Frazier
Frazier
in their prime when he fought Lennox Lewis.
Joe Frazier would
come
pummel
on, man.
Mike Tyson.
You saying that you couldn't handle Lennox Lewis is the same as saying that Larry Holmes handled Ali. It was after their prime.
That's not that much far after the prime.
Ali was done when
Mike, he was.
Guys,
How old was Mike Tyson?
Mike's prime, I'm telling you, his prime was very short. His prime was like till he was 21.
Yeah, so was he. That's why he couldn't fight these fucking tall fighters.
I will agree with
Mike was like 5'9". Muhammad Ali was 6'3".
Yeah,
Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier probably hit harder than Mike Tyson did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Am I going a little crazy?
The only one close to Tyson was Foreman. Just pure
of all time.
Joe Frazier dropped Foreman and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. So what are you talking about?
No, he did not drop. He did not drop Foreman. Definitely didn't drop Foreman.
Straight power is Foreman and Tyson.
Listen. To end the argument that you guys want to know, the answer to the question is this. Right now, if Mike Tyson comes back at 53 years old, can he beat some guys? Yeah, he can beat he could beat Shannon Briggs. He can beat guys of that. If he fights in a senior type circuit,
McNeely,
Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
McNeely.
Look, if you're telling me if you want to see him
Anthony
fight,
Joshua either.
If he fights, he's not going to beat those guys.
Soft-ass Anthony Joshua, British.
You're talking about a dude that's 35 years older.
He's not going to beat those guys.
I'll fuck up this speaking Anthony Joshua.
He's not going to beat those guys. But
no.
as a novelty, I watch it absolutely.
But here's the thing: nobody said he's coming back to fight the guys that are fighting for the title. Nobody said he's coming back to fight at an elite level. This is that bare knuckle boxing league where these guys are fucking bums and can't even make it in the UFC or can't even make it in a regular boxing league.
Are they gonna let Mike hit somebody without gloves
against
on?
Those,
he's gonna kill somebody.
Against those guys, he's gonna go in there and he's gonna murder somebody.
Mike might go to jail off this shit, man. Come on,
that's what I'm saying. Sign the contract because your jaw's getting broke and Mike Tyson is back.
Do you guys not realize that he's 53 years old?
No, he's gonna kill somebody without gloves on.
If he hits,
there's no way he hits as hard as he used to. There's no way he's as fast as he is.
Yeah, but listen, if Mike Tyson hits at 70% of what young Mike Tyson hits, Mike Tyson's hitting harder than anyone you've ever met in your entire life.
Look,
not
me. Not
God,
Michael Moore.
Here we go. Sage is comparing his own fighting career with Mike Tyson again.
No, what I'm saying is, you guys got to realize
Sage was known as a puncher in his day.
I've always known to fight. Do you think I just forget it now because
that's
I'm
not
older?
what I said. I said
that's
Michael
what you said last week.
You ever see the movie The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg and with Christian Bale?
Christian Bale.
That's the kind of fighter Sage was. He was like Bale.
Sage was one of the journeyman
guys.
I
knocked you down, Sugar Ray.
You guys gotta realize, man, he's an old man right now.
No,
Did you see the film?
I realize that.
I don't care what the film. The film.
You don't care.
I gave you the answer.
Do you think they would have showed you the film if it was bad? They're going to show it in his best light, how good he looks. Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, because he looks like a fucking animal.
There's looking good on film, and then there's looking the way that Mike looked in that video.
No, Mike looked great. He looked fantastic.
And obviously, he's not going to be 21-year-old Mike. But 21-year-old Mike was at such high level.
So what are you thinking?
How much of that film did you watch?
What are you?
How much of that film did you watch?
All of it. How much did you watch?
Yeah. Did he run 15 miles that day too?
How much did you watch? Sage, how much did you watch of it?
I didn't say he looked great.
I'll tell you this.
How much did you watch of it?
I didn't say he looked great.
Again, answer my question. How much of the film did you watch?
I don't need to watch film. I know he's a 54-year-old man.
So you didn't see it at all?
Well, Sage,
no,
you're also
thank you.
A 54-year-old
thank you.
man, though.
That is
so
correct.
That's not
Sage
fair.
Yeah, and I realized that I am not as fast as I used to be. I can't run like I used to.
Stop comparing yourself to world-class athletes.
Seriously.
It's not world-class athletes. It's father time, buddy.
Whatever condition you're in means nothing to our argument.
Father time.
The only condition you should be worried about is you putting in your beard. Well, staying on the old boxers here. This is what we talked about on the last show. McGregor wants to fight De La Hoya. What?
Why? No, come on, man. Now you're going too far.
It's the other way around. De La Hoya wants to fight McGregor.
No, now you're going too far.
De La Hoya wants to fight McGregor, and I think he wants to put it on the zone.
Is it? Are y'all serious?
No, this is 100% serious. De La Hoya wants to fight McGregor. Now McGregor showed some flashes against Mayweather and then ultimately lost the fight. This is an older De La Hoya than Mayweather. De La Hoya's skills were already slipping when he was still fighting.
His skills are slipping, but Mike Tyson's aren't.
And De La Hoya's also done massive amounts of cocaine since then, too. That's the other problem.
That's the other thing. Mike Tyson was never been photographed in lace.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that if that happens, I think Conor McGregor, he knocks out Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah!
I mean, I can't.
No way.
I can't believe I'm saying this. But the only reason I'm saying this is because the last time we saw Oscar... Like the last time we saw Oscar, like just to be fair, I'm thinking about that's just Oscar we're talking about.
I think we have our clip for Instagram.
Nah, I saw a video of him working out. He looked really good.
I have now. If there's a video, I haven't seen.
He's making that up. He's making that up. I looked up.
No, dude, I saw 5 minutes of him working out, dude.
Last week I looked his picture up. He looks fat. Last week when we talked about this, I looked his picture up. He's fat.
He got some weight, dude. He's hitting harder now.
Nah, bro. I think if that's if you look at the fight, okay, let's look at the. I know a lot of people say that Mayweather took it easy on McGregor.
He definitely did.
He did to a degree, but at a certain point, he realized, no, this guy is actually a decent boxer. So I think Conor McGregor, to be fair, even though I picked Mayweather to win that fight by knockout, I picked him to knock him out late, just like he did. But the reason I said that, but I didn't think that he would blow him away because then everybody knows Mayweather's not a big puncher, and McGregor got a good chin. He's a good solid. He's a good solid box. Like if you see I've actually boxed in the ring before, and you can't believe against amateur people, and you can't believe how good these guys can fight, and they're just fucking amateurs. So I'm like, okay, we all really suck. So anybody that gets in the ring at a level of professionalism, I have an enormous amount of respect. That's why I'm kind of like groupie level when I get around professional boxers, because I understand what it takes to do that.
You won't even watch boxing movies. He says he can't stand the fight choreography.
It's hard for me to watch sometimes. But with that being said, I just don't think Oscar. I haven't seen Oscar do anything physically as far as boxing in so long that right now I'm thinking that McGregor.
But you have seen him dressed up as a chick.
Yes, and also the fact that I would actually be rooting for McGregor in that fight, which is also weird too, because only because I don't like Oscar. Oscar's done enough to alienate me that I would actually be rooting.
How can you hate on Oscar De La Hoya? He's fought everybody. In the world.
Yeah,
there's not a dude that's ducked anybody. He never ducked anybody.
I didn't say he ducked anybody.
That guy
I didn't say that.
fought every single top competitor that was ever in his weight class.
Correct.
He's the only person you could say that about.
No, he did. No, absolutely.
You can't say that about Mayweather.
No,
you can't say that about what?
Whoa.
Mayweather waited. Mayweather waited for Pacquiao to be old as shit.
I know what Sage is saying.
Because he wouldn't fight Pacquiao when Pacquiao was at his prime.
I know what Sage is saying. And
De La Hoya did.
De La
Hoya will fight anybody.
He would fight people in their primes. He would fight people that were bigger than him. He didn't care.
Yep.
That is true.
He didn't.
Oscar
and
was
that's a tough motherfucker. That's a tough motherfucker.
But
this is called a straw man argument because nobody's arguing that with you.
Nobody's arguing.
Keep bringing it up.
That's fine.
You just keep bringing it up.
With that. But
what does that mean?
Today,
you guys pick and choose what you like to talk about.
That's called making an argument. Picking and choosing what we're going to talk about and bring up.
No, he's not soft. You can't say he's soft.
We didn't say that. I just don't think he beats Conor McGregor is what, 35?
Listen,
31.
I love
31.
Connor's not beating him.
Now this Oscar, right? This version of okay, you need to show me the video where Oscar is in great shape. Let me see that first, and then I might change my mind. But
it'll take us a while to find it.
Is there a video out there?
Where's
the video?
I have not seen it. I've seen the videos of him looking fat. I have not.
Was he ever in great shape when he was even fighting?
Oh, yeah, he was in great shape.
Not really. He was kind of soft in the middle.
But not like Oscar in the last 10 to 15 years. No. Hell fucking no.
Yeah.
So
and let's not kid ourselves here. Oscar De La Hoya was never a monster. He was never going in there wrecking people. He had balls to go fight Trinidad and fight whoever. But did he knock them out? Did he crush them?
He knocked out some of them.
And even when Mayweather,
who did De La Hoya knock out? Tell me.
When he stopped McGregor, it was more of McGregor was just he was gassed at that point.
He was tired.
It wasn't that. It was just overwhelming power. It was just that he was at that point. I'm done. Okay, I'm tired. Got hit with a good shot. I know how to. He's exhausted. He's done. But Oscar, I don't see him getting there. Can Oscar get through a round at this point in his career?
Who did De La Hoya ever knock out? Educate me.
He knocked out Fernando Vargas.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't knock anybody out.
He knocked out Fernando Vargas.
I'm asking you who he knocked out.
He's knocked out some guys. I mean,
Fernando Vargas was working at a strip club like a week later.
No, but De La Hoya wasn't the only guy to knock Vargas out, though.
No. Well, up to that point, Trinidad had knocked Vargas out.
And once you get knocked out once, you'll go to sleep a lot easier.
Yeah. Hey, somebody turned into an E. It's Enrique.
Teleported to the other side.
He teleported to the other side. Look at that.
At least he's not upside down this week.
Yeah.
Wow. With the Madden background in the back.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, if that fight happens, I say Conor wins. If that fight happens, show me the odds. If I would actually put money on Conor. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I would do that against Oscar a 50-year-old Oscar De La Hoya, or what is he, 46, 47, 48?
Dana White and De La Hoya hate each other, so I don't see that fight ever happening.
Now maybe they'll tell Oscar that, hey man, we got a boatload of money for you to do this, and he'll come back and do that. I just don't. No, I don't see that.
Now, we got a boxing guy and a UFC guy on here right now. I got a question for the two of you. There was another podcast I was listening to the other day, and they were saying how the UFC has it perfect where they actually pick fighters to fight by styles. Like they're pairing up fights better, not just
the matchmakers.
Yeah, you're not just all right. So it's not just you're the number one contender. You're going to fight the champion right away, and you get heroes like Cowboy Cerrone, who's not a great fighter, but was looked to make a great fighter because they matched him up correctly. Boxing's been boring because they've just been grabbing hands. We got lucky with Tyson Fury and with Wilder the last couple times here, but boxing needs that. So
that's what De La Hoya is trying to be. De La Hoya is trying to be one centralized boxing organization where everybody fights under him.
Too much corruption.
It's too fragmented for that. There's too many promoters.
It's been that way since the 80s, though. Ever since they made like WBO, WBC, IBF,
right.
When they splintered into all the different organizations, that's what fucked up boxing.
UFC is brand new compared to boxing. So you and luckily Dana White has been able to.
UFC does a few things right. The longer rounds, less rounds is better than 12 rounds in 3 minutes. The fights themselves, the larger ring, everything. The UFC is just better and one of the things that's better is boxing has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. There's hardly any personalities. Even if we got a champion now that people actually watching Tyson Fury, do you give a damn if he talks? I'd rather hear an interview with McGregor or watch McGregor fight than I would a Tyson Fury or even a Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua, I have no respect for. But the UFC just
why are you always hating on Joshua?
Because he's a soft bitch, man. That last fight.
Why though? Why do you say
Why
that?
do you always call these motherfuckers soft, bro? They get in the ring and they battle.
What's the cat that knocked him out? The fat dude.
Andy Ruiz.
Should have never.
Andy Ruiz would maul you.
Of course, Andy Ruiz would maul me. I'm not a professional fighter.
But you call these guys soft. You call these guys soft.
This dude comes in the ring. He's all chiseled. He looks like Alistair Overeem, and then he gets fucking handled.
But boxing. Let's see. That's physique. Never means.
I like that Overeem reference.
It's from Marvin Hagler. God damn it.
Mike Weaver.
Marvin Hagler was
Mike Weaver had the best physique ever. Nobody's ever. I bet you guys never heard of Mike Weaver before.
No, Ken Norton.
Mike Weaver had the best physique. Look up Mike Weaver at the end of this and say, "Damn, that motherfucker had the best physique I've ever seen."
I heard a Leonard Weaver.
Knows who Mike Weaver is. I'll find a picture and put that up on the Instagram page. You can try that.
He looked like the heavyweight champion of the world. If you didn't know anything and you just said, "Hey, this guy," you say, "Wow, he's the heavyweight champ." That's what Mike Weaver looked like. He had an awesome. Remember Holyfield coming along? People were like, "Look, he looks like a Mr. America type of guy." Mike Weaver was that before Evander Holyfield. Anyway, going back to what you said, Joel. To be fair,
you know who looks like that now? Mike Tyson.
Wow. Oh, okay. I hate to say it. I'm gonna be honest. UFC was a sport that it grew on me, I guess, through friends of mine that I know, and enough friends of mine watch it. Like all of you guys watched it when I met you guys, so y'all were in it. Joe would say, "Hey, we're having a fight party, come over." I would. Andre was another one. Hey, man, the Ronda Rousey during the Ronda Rousey Misha Tate beef around that time was when I started slowly kind of getting into it. UFC seemed to me like part WWE, part boxing.
Come on, man. Come on.
That's what it seemed. No, that's what it seemed. That's what I'm saying. That's what it seemed like to me in the beginning. But as I started watching it, I started to respect, the different fighters and the guys that, I started seeing come along. I started recognizing guys. And I was like, okay, it's a decent sport. I'm not like the boxing guy that says, oh, UFC is garbage. I don't do that. I know boxing guys that won't watch UFC. It's trash. And then they use you saw what Mayweather did to the best UFC guy, and that's why we know that boxing is better. I've even heard that argument, but
let Mayweather get in the cage.
Of course, and that's what I'm saying. That's why he didn't get in the cage. And do you believe that? Yes, I need to know that from you. Was there ever an actual? Can you hear me anymore? I think.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Was there ever an actual moment where there was an actual fight discussed for Mayweather to get in the cage with Conor, or no? Because I think
they tried to, but Mayweather would never do it.
He was talking. Remember, he was talking about. Remember, he was talking about. I would do it if the money. And he was like, "Yeah, if it's $1 billion deal."
First of all, the money that they did for the regular fight was like $300 million.
Right.
If they did Mayweather in a UFC cage with McGregor, it shit would be like $500 million.
Right.
But he would lose, so he's never going to do it.
He would get worked.
Yeah,
do you remember James Toney came to the UFC?
Tony.
Tried to fight Randy Couture. The fight was over in 40 seconds.
And Couture was not in his prime.
I'm surprised you didn't say he was soft, Joel.
Wow. Hey, but people would buy that though. People would buy that knowing that Conor would win the fight easily. They would buy it just to see Mayweather get his shit beat out of him, right?
Mayweather would get in a stance and he would try to land a haymaker on McGregor, and McGregor would do like a jumping side kick and kick him right in the face.
That wouldn't be fair, man.
I would pay $200 to see that.
That's why they did it in boxing, because it wouldn't have been like in the UFC. It would have ended so quickly that it wouldn't have even been entertaining to people. It would like Conor would have grabbed him. He could have grappled him up at any time, choked him.
Conor don't grapple. Conor would fucking kick him. He would kick him in the legs, and he would kick him in the face. Yeah, we kick the shit out of him. It would be over quick.
Los locos kick your ass. Los locos kick your face.
We're going to go ahead and pay some bills. We're back in just a second here. No, Randy Couture is not a bitch, but Randy Couture does have the worst fucking nickname in the history of all sports. The Huntington Beach Bad Boy is a shitty ass.
That's not Randy Couture, dumbass.
Which one is that one? Who's the
That's Tito Ortiz.
Worst fucking nickname in the history of fucking sports.
Tito Ortiz.
Is he soft too?
Actually, if you got Huntington Beach in your nickname, yes, you're a soft ass bitch. Come find me, Randy Couture.
You said that was the wrong guy.
Eat more Scrapple at the Scrapple Shack. Coming soon.
All this discussion needs to be on wax.
Everybody's recording right now. We're back.
Okay.
Crackbacks in the building.
So,
we just had a little conversation going on here. Go ahead, guys.
Who got the finer chicks? Jeter, Dicaprio, or Justin Timberlake?
DiCaprio.
It's probably.
It's got to be DiCaprio.
Oh no, man! That
gotta be DiCaprio.
But
I only really know
with Jeter though. I don't know, man. That's close, bro. That's close.
You're talking about Derek Jeter.
Maxim
close,
100,
man.
buddy.
Yeah, but I'm leaning towards DiCaprio with and it might be just because I
is DiCaprio.
It's I know it's not his chick, but he probably smashed that too. The Wolf of Wall Street's in my head. I know it's not his chick, but that's what's like.
He definitely hit that.
Margarotti?
Think so?
Yeah.
Who?
He definitely hit that.
Hell yeah, man. You know that.
I don't think so.
So
come on, man, it's DiCaprio.
But with that tidbit of information, that puts DiCaprio over the top easily.
All right. So but on that note, since you brought it up, and it ties into what I just asked Joel. If there's a Mount Rushmore of guys, right, that smashed the best chicks, you just said that you
those
would have
three.
You would
and
have
Burt
Jeter.
Reynolds.
Whoa. Wait, I'm gonna give you some names, and you tell me that would you replace any of these guys? So you said you would put Derek Jeter, you would put Leo.
I would put Derek Jeter as the number one athlete.
Would you put Hugh Hefner up there?
I bet you I bet you a lot
Uncle
of them
Creepy.
said no.
Uncle Creepy.
Would you put Prince up there?
Yes, by far.
See? Now you start getting into names that
Prince fuck dudes too.
Wow. Wow.
You doubt Prince fuck dudes?
Yeah,
I didn't say. Hey, I didn't doubt anything.
Prince was Music Rodman, or Rodman was
basketball. I didn't doubt anything.
Whatever Rodman did, and you saw in the documentary, Michael Jordan was like, when I walked into Rodman's hotel room, he was in the bed. I won't say what was going on.
Wow.
So he would have said, I walked in. And
wasn't that with Carmen? That was with Carmen Electra.
But yeah,
that was Carmen
and a few other people.
It wasn't Carmen alone, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
There was a group in there.
Kind of like your Earl Thomas thing. Like, what's up? What's going on here?
Well, no, I don't think Rodman's brother was there. So that's
which is even worse. Which is a little worse.
You and probably Carmen Electra's brother.
Yeah, he probably did one.
God, that's so messed up. Oh God! Wow.
So are we in agreement though that it's by a slim margin?
Who, man?
DiCaprio's.
But wait, you said the Mount Rushmore is only 4 people, so you're telling me it's DiCaprio? You're telling me it's Derek Jeter? You're telling me it's Hugh Hefner, and who's the 4th one?
Justin Timberlake. And
Timberlake is the other one?
Burt Reynolds.
Nah.
Timberlake?
Florida
you gotta
State.
go like this. All right.
Florida
So this is it. I don't agree with that either.
I don't know.
Don't forget Timberlake.
What about? But you know who you guys are forgetting? Hold on.
Timberlake as a youth ran through Britney Spears before she was crazy.
But wait. You know, I'm gonna tell you who you guys are all forgetting.
He also had.
All of you guys. I'm gonna tell you right now who you're forgetting. Nobody's brought this dude up. George Clooney.
Yeah.
Hasn't he smashed a whole bunch of real bad chicks?
No, but Clooney was the relationship guy. Clooney would stay in relationships for a long time.
Yeah, but Clooney threw Stacy Keibler over the side.
No,
bro.
But those other guys were turned.
Who does that?
Stacy Keibler.
Who does that? Stacy, what? She was.
Stacy Keibler's hotter than Britney Spears.
You got to look at it this way. Who is the actor that had sex with the most chicks? You pick DiCaprio. The athlete, I say Jeter. Musician. Who is the one musician that's probably had the hottest chicks
of all time? I mean,
gotta be some British rock star, probably.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, like a Paul McCartney.
Like a Mick Jagger. Like a Mick
George
Jagger.
A lot of dudes like that, though. There's a lot of competition for that.
Yeah.
Boy,
musician-wise, the guys from Kiss. Gene Simmons from Kiss, isn't he notable?
You know who got
for that shit?
Yeah, man. Those dudes are different level dudes.
Yeah, Gene Simmons probably had more orgies than we've all had girls combined.
Or what about John
It's going to be a rock star. It's going to be your...
I'm talking about dudes with chicks we know.
It's probably Tommy. It's probably
what about Tommy Lee?
It's probably Lee. It's probably Tommy.
Any of those dudes, though, if you think about
it. But Tommy Lee had upgrade. Tommy Lee, who's old as shit right now, he's still with a hot chick. Her name is what is her name?
Yeah, he's got like a Playboy model or something.
Her name it'll come back. It'll come back to him and Renee right now. Yeah, but the musicians is probably Tommy Lee.
Let me go back to Justin Timberlake. Slayed Britney Spears in her prime. When Britney Spears was the hottest thing on earth.
That one seems to hold a lot of value for Gets. I keep going back to that.
They were kind of put together in the
go back
thing.
Go back and watch the early Britney Spears videos.
No, she was all right.
She wasn't.
Jessica Biel, who he slayed, was better.
But right after Britney Spears, he passed her off for Christina Aguilera. Just started running through the Mickey Mouse Club.
I thought she was better.
And then Jessica Biel wifed it up.
Yeah, but he slayed those girls when they were like 16. Derek Jeter had sex with them when they were women.
And he was running around with Rihanna for a little bit.
Yo, according to this is off the Google here, Timberlake, including the folks you've already spoken about, Jessica Biel, yada yada yada. He also has Cameron Diaz, Tatiana Ali when she was on The Fresh Prince. Alyssa Milano.
You have to qualify.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano, son.
Jenna Dewan, who was that's your boy
Dawn.
Magic
That's
Mike's
Channing Tatum's wife.
And Fergie.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why would you end it with Fergie?
That's what the list ended on.
Hey man, Fergie was solid for a while.
Yeah. In her day, like that early Black Eyed Peas.
Not do that.
It wasn't last week.
Fergie was solid.
That was some really good makeup.
Not
you
Fergie
guys are
now.
saying Fergie's hot, and you were dissing Britney Spears.
No, we didn't.
Unbelievable.
I never
said that she wasn't elite
you
level, like you were saying.
You did.
Like you were saying that she's elite all time level, which I don't agree with. But of that time, yes, she was.
That video when she had the snake around her neck, or the first video.
Look at
Enrique.
I agree with you. We agree.
We know Enrique's going to vote for Jeter anyway. But hold on, I got Jeter's list here. We got Mariah Carey, Tyra Banks. Jordana Brewster. Here's where it starts. Here's where it starts warming up. Scarlett Johansson.
Damn.
Jessica Alba.
You can stop.
Jessica Alba.
Vanessa Manillo. Yo, Jeter might have jumped over DiCaprio.
I told you.
Adriana Lima.
Jeter.
Adriana Lima.
Son, Jessica
Don't
Biel.
forget Minka Kelly too.
Minka Kelly.
Minka Kelly.
And Hannah Davis, who's the one that actually got wiped up.
Yeah, you got all right. So who picked Jeter? Who said Jeter?
Me. I
Sage
did.
said Jeter.
All
right, say
Reek said Jeter.
Say it. You got
both
I
100%
think body of work definitely Jeter at that point. It got a little bit ridiculous as the list kept going. And that's only a partial list, right?
Yeah, it's a partial. It's a partial list.
BuzzFeed's top 10.
It's a partial list.
That's not even
The partial
included
list. Okay,
like
I
the
got it.
unknown chicks that he was pulling out of clubs in New York.
Yeah.
Which you best believe there's still 9s and 10s, even though we don't know.
Or picked him up from the airport in Cleveland.
Nah, you can't really mess with those. You can't really mess with those chicks.
James Worthy said that Magic Johnson had 5 or 6 chicks in every single city. So anytime they would fly, they would make his bed for him. They'd bring him his food, all kinds of stuff. 5 or 6 different chicks in every single city.
The reason Worthy knows that is because one of the chicks were for him.
Yeah, Worthy. Well, no, that's
John
another
Madden
one too.
had the same thing. And John Madden was a fat.
John Madden. John Madden.
Where'd you get that from?
John Madden had like 5 chicks in every city they would drive that bus to.
What was the white dude on the Lakers with the glasses?
Kurt Rambis?
Worthy.
Rambis said he got when they had this expansion draft and Rambis went from the Lakers to Minnesota.
Ooh.
He said, when I was with the Lakers, he's like, I always got a good looking chick. I just got what was left over, in the lobby,
which was still probably like an 8,
which was still solid. He's like, I got to Minnesota and the hottest chick was a 4. He couldn't do anything.
He couldn't wait to
power
play.
of Magic Johnson.
He couldn't wait to play at LA. So he could call me, hey, Magic, come on, man.
Go over to Dr. Jerry Buss's house.
I'm coming into town, man. Come on, you got to hook me up.
He was like, Magic, give me the one with the least AIDS.
Whoa. Wow.
Like I said, anything anybody don't know.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Well, you said it's a conspiracy that he really didn't even have the AIDS.
I think he never had it.
That it was just to get awareness out. That's why they were like, "Magic, take the fall."
I think the government broke him off at a legendary level, and said, "Hey, tell everybody you have AIDS, so all these kids out here will start using condoms."
They gave him that movie theaters.
They're like, yo, Magic.
Because back then they weren't paying athletes that much, and Magic came out, started buying city blocks, building movie theaters. He bought a piece of the Dodgers.
He said they paid Magic.
He got in there real early on Starbucks, too.
Magic got broke off.
Yeah, he got real early on that. He said Magic broke off legendary money.
He never had it. Yo, Magic looks great right now.
People used to die. In years.
Magic's like 60 years old. Magic looks like he can still play.
You see him at LA Fitness like this.
And to anybody that wants to be like, Magic had money, so he could, recover.
Right.
Freddie Mercury shriveled up mad quick. How fast did Walter Payton die?
Oh, hot take from Getzer, Walter Payton.
I wasn't aware that Walter Payton had AIDS.
A mysterious illness?
Did he have the HIV or did he have the full-blown AIDS?
He had the full-blown AIDS because he went quick. Walter Payton died of a quote-unquote mysterious illness.
The same illness that Denzel died from in Philadelphia.
So did Eazy-E.
His nickname on the team was Sweetness.
Oh, my God.
Do I need to provide any more?
So did Eazy-E.
But Eazy-E died from.
He died of the AIDS.
He died of the AIDS from intravenous drug use. That's at least with honor.
Nah, are you kidding me? That dude was boning crazy chicks all the time.
Eazy-E was running through hookers with no condom.
And hood rats.
But the rumor is
that's how Easy does it.
The rumor is that Suge Knight injected him, man.
What?
That's the rumor. And Suge Knight sent one of his goons to inject him at the hospital.
Yo, with all the stories of Suge Knight, that motherfucker might be the evilest dude in this world.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Suge Knight?
And me and Sage were in line at a club with him.
And we decided not to go in a club because he was gonna go.
You can't be anywhere where he's gonna be. Him, it's Suge Knight and Saddam Hussein's 2 sons, Uday and Usain. Those are the 3 most evil people on the planet.
Agreed.
Wow.
Agreed.
Wow.
Well, first we realized First, we realized Suge Knight couldn't get in, so ain't no chance in hell we were getting in. And then we were like, okay, if Suge Knight's trying to get in this club, do we really want to go in this club?
Yeah,
That was the end of the night.
You can't be anywhere the Suge Knight is. Wherever Suge Knight is, something bad's about to happen. Like Vanilla Ice held over about.
Isan, you ever been to the Rhino?
Nah.
In Vegas?
When I go to you know what?
Yeah.
All the times I've been to Vegas, I never went to the strip joint out there because.
What?
I guess
you're a strip club connoisseur.
Yeah, but the reason,
man.
But the thing is, when I leave from here to go up there, it's like me getting a break from this club. Because that's the problem. If I'm here local, I'm in the club more often than if I travel. So
we're gonna have to send you on location. Spearmint Rhino, Las Vegas.
It's bad.
Best strip club on earth.
No, I have been.
Crackbacks on location.
I will say this: when I went to Dallas, I ended up at a Silver City Cabaret, which, by the way, is
that a gay bar?
Wow.
De La Hoya owns it.
De La Hoya owns your guy in there on Thursdays.
Yeah. They got the Golden Boy market.
Romo got a VIP box.
On Thursdays. He's the main guy on Thursdays. No, but Silver City Cabaret was a nice spot in Dallas. If you go out there, check it out. They're owned by the same company that owns Tootsie's and Scarlett's down here. So, yeah, man, check it.
We love Tootsie's here on Crackbacks.
There you go. Hey, man, listen. Hey, I'm an investor in the company for real, man. I'm not even lying about that.
You got to invest in what you love.
And listen, I'll put this out there for people who want to listen. Sage, guys that have money,
when you put money in their panties, it's not an investment.
Put it this way. Hey, Enrique, I know
He
you got money.
I know you got money burn
a hole in your pocket. Sage, you too. Listen, you got no kids.
When you crumble up dollars and throw them on the stage, that's not an investment.
Listen, no, I'm not saying that. Listen, go to Seeking Alpha, go to Yahoo Finance, go to any financial site, type in RICK. It's Rick Hospitality.
Rick? White Boy Rick?
That is the publicly traded entity that owns Tootsie's, Scarlett's, Silver City Cabaret, a whole bunch of strip clubs, bars, clubs, all that. Guess what? Right now, everything's in a tank, right? Because
this is why we brought you on.
Yeah, it might be a good time to invest.
This is why we brought you on. Yeah,
so the stock price
with the market
is very
in
low.
general. But that's what the market in general right now.
I'm buying the stock aggressively. Pull it up right now. You think I'm lying? Ask
How
him.
does that lap dance look?
Listen,
How does that lap dance look right now?
If
they
you
wear
buy
gloves?
the stock aggressively.
Do they have face masks?
It wasn't the boxing expertise. This is what we wanted.
This is the time that you buy, because right now it seems so dire and desperate, and it sucks and everything else. So this is the time.
It's at $9 a stock, right? It's at $9 a share right now.
It's $9 a share. Now this is a stock that I've traded off, and just, hey, do the research on the company. You'll see. I'm not lying. They own Tootsie's. They own Scarlett's. They own Silver City Cabaret. I've been to all of those spots. I know all the managers.
You got to know your merchandise.
Listen, if I'm spending money in a place, if I can invest in a place, then why not do that? Because that way, at least I'm thinking in my mind, at least subconsciously, hey, fuck it, at least I'm paying myself in a way. That, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, look into it.
That's not bad logic. That's not bad logic.
So think about it. I know I'm blowing money anyway because I'm in a club. But if I'm blowing money in the club, fuck it. Hey, you know what? I own a small piece of the club. It might not. I know it's a tiny sliver of a piece.
Some of it's coming back to you.
Here's my question.
Bro.
Do you tell them that? When you're in the champagne room, do you tell them that?
But see, I don't do rooms. See, that's
are you like, I own a piece of this club?
I don't do rooms in those spots. Like, that's the other thing. I don't do rooms in those clubs. Like,
Greg Higgson.
Listen, man.
He only likes rooms in ghetto clubs.
Listen,
bullet wound.
Listen, the only place you'll catch me in a room, honestly, is Diamond Dogs.
Vegas Cabaret.
No, Diamond Dogs.
The Porthole Pub.
Oh wow, how the hell do you even know about that place, Enrique? Look, you're worse than me.
Where was that place in Miami?
Yo, this dude's talking about Porthole.
Club Zirkus.
Wow, yo, Enrique.
Zirkus.
No, we need.
That's
Zirkus.
We'll have to do a show on location down.
Club Zirkus got thick Thursdays.
Don't go to Porthole.
We need to do
a remote
location at Club Zirkus.
Thick Thursdays.
Shout out to Club Zirkus.
Thick Thursdays.
Where?
Friend of the program.
It's down in Miami.
Club Circus.
Club Circus.
None of those spots in Miami.
We're gonna
man.
do a
Come
location
on,
there.
man. So I don't understand that. Why do guys do this?
Wait,
they go to
yo,
these spots.
The roster.
In the hood.
I don't
In
get
the
that.
motherfucking hood.
Why do they do that? Like they go to these ghetto spots.
It's
Like
next to
The roster at Club Circus.
nah, man.
The problem with going to Club Circus is
It's
I'm
15, huh?
I don't
I
think
mean,
that neighborhood's
either
not
make a
safe
joke,
to go into.
Wide
Shut
Wendy.
the fuck up.
Nah,
Wide Wendy.
man.
That Thick Thursdays.
The roster at Club Circus got the most bullet holes per chick.
Hey, they had to shut down fucking Queen of Diamonds because of herpes outbreak in that
Yo.
bitch, bro. That's how bad it got in there.
Oh God.
Rona.
What?
Yo, it got
Wait,
so it was so
STDs
bad.
at a strip club?
Yeah, they had
Herpes at the script.
I'm
they had a
shocked.
herpes. Yeah, they had a
KOD?
herpes breakout in the club, man. Like if you those ghetto clubs you go to,
How did they find out about that though?
I don't
Somebody
know.
tries to
Strippers must
sue.
have gotten it. That's
How
all.
did they find out about that?
Somebody tries to sue. There's no other way. That's
Somebody,
the only way.
yeah,
somebody
somebody
got,
tried to
hey,
sue.
that's the
Somebody
same
was like,
club
yo, I
that
got
Adrian
herpes from having
Broner,
sex with
when
this
he
chick.
ate the stripper out on the stage, like Adrian Broner, the boxer, he ate a bitch out on the stage, and they like posted it on.
Well, Adrian Broner's Adrian Broner's promoter and mentor, if you
Yes.
will, Floyd Mayweather laughed at the old man at the Silver Fox here. We went to Tootsie's, since we're talking about Tootsie's, friend of the program here. We were at Tootsie's for a fantasy draft. I guess he gets his face already here. And my man Sage got a little bit tipsy, if you will. Exactly. So we're in VIP after our fantasy draft. Having a beverage
That's
or
an
two.
understatement.
Having a beverage or two. And the bouncer runs out and grabs Getz, talking about, is this your boy? Like, what happened to him? He's like, he's assed out in the campaign room right now. So, Getz, I'm gonna let you take it from there because you're the one that walked in when you saw
He
him.
didn't even make it into the room. He was in the hallway. Yo, first of all, he didn't make it into the champagne room. He was laying in the corner in the hallway.
Okay, wait. Hey, what
So
time?
the-
Hey, what
the
time was
bouncer
this
ran-
happening?
It's probably
Runs
2, 3
out,
o'clock in the
grabs
morning.
me.
in the morning.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
late.
Okay.
This was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
It's not. It wasn't that late. We
So
what,
these
4
dudes are all
5
jacked
o'clock.
in suits.
We'll talk about what he did.
Oh, it was late.
Did
We
at
were
4 or 5
there.
o'clock, but it was
We
like
were there
it was probably
at
like
5 o'clock for a draft.
Don't forget, we
o'clock for
did
a
the whole
draft.
fantasy draft, and then we went up to the VIP and drank up there for a couple hours.
We've been drinking.
Sage
6,
went
7,
into
8
his
hours.
blurry-eyed
All right, so what you're
1,000-yard
telling
stare.
me you got there at like 2:00 in the afternoon.
We were
So-
there 5. Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
No,
This is
5.
all irrelevant. Irrelevant details.
Let's just say we were there long enough.
Irrelevant
for,
details.
Yeah, we were there long enough for him to be absolutely blasted.
There was enough time for Sage to get into that predicament then?
Correct. So they come out and they grab us, right? so
Listen,
we go back by the champagne.
We
I
did a
almost-
full fantasy draft.
Hold on. Almost got into a fight with somebody that night.
Yeah, you did that, but that's not even the
It
fun
was
part of
in
it.
the
Now, we'll
early-
talk about that later.
Early
You did
night.
get in a
So
You got in a fight. You got in a fight with
no,
someone
but that
who
just
did the music bar.
I just went and just started drinking because of the fight.
Don't blame the
Because of
fight.
the fight.
You were getting drunk either way. So anyway, we're upstairs, right? And the bouncer's come to grab it. This dude's
You were
assed
drunk.
out.
You were drunk before the fight.
Exactly. Dude's assed out in the hallway, right?
Hold up.
Dude's assed out in the hallway, and Getz looks at me and goes,
So he's laying down in the hallway on his back, laughing, and I said, Sage, I'm shaking him on his chest. I'm like, Sage, you need to get up. You need to get up. He goes, I'm good. I said, no, you're not good. You're laying on the floor in a fucking strip club. Get up. Let's go. I'm good. So the bouncer's like, yo, we can get him on this thing. And he brings me over like a little chair on wheels. And we had to put Sage on this chair and wheel him into like a fucking freight elevator in the back.
No, listen. The
We
chair,
go downstairs in the
Hold on,
elevator.
but Getz, we only got the
Hold
chair.
on.
Like the chair only moved a couple of feet, and then we dragged him. I had a foot. You had a foot. And we dragged this dude on the floor all the way to the elevator. We get in the elevator, go down, drag him outside of the elevator, and then the largest bouncer I've ever seen in my life walks up to us.
Oh gosh.
Grabs it, he goes, yo, man, you can't pull him out of there. You're going to fuck
Isan,
Get you breaking up on us.
Isan, you're a big Underworld fan. This This bouncer looked like a lichen. He was a fucking werewolf.
So standing next
Pick
to
Sage
Joel,
up like a fucking sack of potatoes and put him in the car.
standing next to Joel looked like one of the Ewok characters.
Well, I gotta look like an Ewok.
You are the same complexion.
Wow. You're the same color. You're the same color as the sand
Well,
Jawas walk through.
Some fur is darker. Some fur is darker than others.
Hey, tell me Joel's not the same color as Come on, man.
You don't want me to start talking about what color you are. We can bring out the all Isan NBA team, all the light skinned dudes in the league, your Zach Levines and Aaron Gordons. We can do that if you want.
You guys don't realize how Joel
Charlie Villanueva.
The Lonzo Balls of the league.
He would abuse me at work. Not as bad as what he did with Grover, but because Grover was Grover, who was the center that was on Dallas.
Grover, for folks new to the podcast, Grover is an Asian friend of ours. We'll bring him on at some point. Big boxing fan as well.
You talking about Wang Zhuzhu?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
But he was also everyone else. He was Yao.
Any Asian basketball player.
He was Jeremy Lin.
You got the nerve to bring up skin complexion when you're the lightest black man on earth.
Yeah, well, pretty close.
Michael Jackson had that.
Hey, let's move on.
Still lighter than him. Anyway, we're running out. We went way off on a tangent here. We only got a couple of topics here.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're moving on. Way off on the side over here. All right, so we've been watching the Last Dance, the 10-part series on the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. Just give a second here as Sage's face starts twisting. Greatest basketball player of all time. So, what other athlete would you watch?
Fucking ridiculous.
Series? Is there any other athlete that you would watch? Because I'm riveted. All right, I know there's 2 more episodes. I'm sad there's only 2 more.
Derek Jeter.
Jeter's gonna be a boring special. I'm gonna be honest with you.
See, when we were talking about this earlier, my first answer, exactly. No controversy. No, he did nothing wrong. We need somebody with a little more controversy. I agree with that. Because I first wanted Jeter myself.
No, I just want to talk about the chicks.
No, who would I? Are you asking who are you?
If you were going to watch,
I'd go to soccer. I'd go to soccer on that one. I want Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, Ronaldo's one. You could do that. I can see that.
I'm saying Deion Sanders. I'd be glued to the screen.
Yeah, there's some controversy there.
Everybody's
Deion would be dope, and Deion did also try to kill himself. So
I got one for Getz that I'm sure that he would.
Yeah,
watch.
and then you get to that religious shit that you're like.
We don't only do that for like a 15-minute thing. We're gonna have Jerry curl Deion more than anything else on there. But Getz, I want to watch a 10-part series on the Phillies from the early 90s. I'm talking Darren Dalton. I'm talking Nails.
All steroids. Ice steroids.
Mitch Williams, Pete Incaviglia, Jim Eisenreich had vertigo.
Hey, wasn't
Didn't Dykstra have some like
They were all crazy.
Gallagher was on Montreal.
They were all crazy and they were all on roids.
He used to be on Philly.
No, Galarraga wasn't on no Philly team.
Galarraga was never on the Phillies. He was on the.
No, he was never on Philly. Stop.
Phillies. The Expos. He was on the Braves, and he was on the Marlins at the very end.
Okay.
He was on the Braves. He was never on the Expos.
That Expos team. That Expos team was nasty though.
If you want a Yankee that's going to be a good special, Mickey Mantle would be the Yankee that would be a good special.
Darryl Strawberry.
Ted Williams.
Strawberry would be a dope.
What about Reggie Jackson?
Had that one movie that they
fucking David Wells.
Yeah.
David Wells would be interesting, but does he have enough for 10 episodes is the thing.
What about Ricky Vaughn?
That's it. No, but the real wild thing was on that early 90s.
First of all, nobody has enough for 10 episodes. Only Jordan.
There's guys with enough. Magic Johnson's got enough for 10.
Rick Vaughn.
Motherfucker.
Magic Johnson's definitely got enough for 10.
I don't know if I can let this pass by.
Tom Brady.
Isan just said Rick Vaughn, who is a fictional character from the movie Major League.
Best sports movie ever. Gets you frozen.
What?
Whatever Gets you laughing at, we didn't hear because your screen froze.
Yeah.
We're talking about who to do a documentary on.
Nah, who to do the
And
documentary?
Isan said Rick Vaughn, who is a fictional character from the movie Major League.
Played by Charlie Sheen.
Now, 10-part series, I would say Muhammad Ali. You could
Anyway,
do one.
if you're going to do a documentary,
At 10 part, Charlie Sheen, yeah.
Charlie
me
Sheen would work.
personally, I don't know
Yeah,
if you're going to
unplug
do
your
10
phone or
parts,
something, man. You're sticking right
but
now.
I would like to see
Ooh, really.
Iverson. From the early days,
Guess he's.
I don't
It's
know, man.
freezing up bad over here.
He looks like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's these goddamn white people hating on me.
I don't know how white people hating on you. Making
There's
you
only
freeze.
one white person here. There's only one white person.
It's San's the one white person. So we'll hit it one last time. We're getting close. We're getting close to time. The ESPN just brought out their.
Iverson. I want a documentary on Iverson.
I would certainly watch a documentary on Iverson, Allen Iverson, because the off the court stuff would be just as fun as the on the court stuff.
Iverson, you got it all, man. You got the early years when he was fucking crazy in high school. He was dominating at Georgetown, Sixers era. Took them, put him on his back. MVP, went to the finals, almost won. Then you got him chasing the title at the end, trying to go to the Nuggets. And then you got the fact that he just gets ripped all the time. He's always drunk. That whole press conference we talking about practice. He was drunk that day, too.
He went to go to play in Turkey because he was broke.
One of the things that made me respect Iverson is because I actually saw him. I actually saw him in person, and I'm barely 6'1", and he was actually like my height. So he really is like 6 feet. Like, he's not like a 6'2". He's closer to 6 feet. I mean, we were about the same height.
Supreme athlete. That's one of the great athletes. And because he was a bit of a weird character off the court, or at least white people didn't like him. He didn't get the respect that he really should of the pure athlete that Iverson was. Iverson's upper echelon. He's up there, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders.
Well, he was a hell of a football player.
Yeah, he was a cornerback and he played quarterback too.
Didn't MJ say that Didn't MJ say the NBA is lucky that Iverson's not 6'6", like after he played him his rookie year or something like that?
So it wasn't Jordan.
Yep.
It's because he broke Jordan's ankles.
It was Kobe. Kobe said
It was Kobe. Oh, it's Kobe. Somebody said that.
Iverson broke Jordan's
Kobe's,
ankles.
in
the Jordan hate never
in the
stops.
finals in that first game.
The Jordan hate.
No,
it really is true.
Jesus Christ of basketball.
You missed the last
basketball, buddy.
It's on the amount of Jordan hate that Sage has is absolutely ridiculous. Jordan,
In all your minds, Jordan hit 400 in baseball too.
Well, Easy said we got 4 minutes left here. So the ESPN put out their list
sad.
here. Jordan, number one player of all time on their list. They do have LeBron at number 2. They got Kareem at 3. Here's where the list starts having an issue for me. We got Bill Russell at 4 and Magic at 5. So I'm gonna number 1, Bill Russell. That's the most overrated player in the history of basketball.
I thought championships mean the most. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
He got championships.
Tell us why, though. Tell us why.
That's all that matters.
Championships in the league when there
Sage, go back in your room.
There were
18 teams in the league.
That's all that matters.
Teams.
Yeah, seriously. There were 18 teams in the league. He was a 7-foot black man playing amongst 6'3" white men.
Most of the centers
come on.
6'5".
The game was completely different back then. It was slower, and they happened to have the best team. They had 5 Hall of Famers in an 18-team league. The rest of the league maybe had 2 Hall of Famers. They dominated all the way through. It was literally like taking an NBA team and having them play in the NCAA. That's the only reason they got all the rings. As soon as they started getting some other big players in there, Chamberlain, one of the Lakers, Kareem beat him a little bit. He wasn't even the best team on those. The best player.
Kareem never played Bill Russell.
Yeah, at the end.
Russell
was coaching. You're right. Russell was coaching at that point.
That would have been
Russell was coaching at that point. It was a very end. Russell was coaching. You're right.
Are you done? Because I would like to retort.
I'm almost done. I'm saying that he's not even the best player on those Celtics teams. Havlicek was better than him.
You guys just keep picking and choosing what matters.
So
like you usually do.
His stats don't match up to Kareem or Wilt's or even Shaq's. All he has is the rings because he was on the best team. Robert Horry has more, just as many rings as he does as well. Go ahead, Gates.
Nowhere close. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go to the glasses for this, like Tony Kornheiser. All right, Bill Russell here. First of all, NCAA champion at the University of San Francisco, where they've never been good before or after. He won back-to-back championships, 55 and 56.
That's the Bird argument.
He was the college player of the year and the tournament MVP the second year they won the title in college. Then he goes to the Celtics. Then he goes to the Celtics, wins 11 out of 13 titles in the 13 years he played. 11 out of 13. No one's done that ever, not in basketball. The only other player in North American sports was Henry Richard, the Rocket, for the Montreal Canadiens. Bill Russell, 5-time MVP. 4 times he led the league in rebounds. You say his stats don't match up to anybody?
That's all he had was rebounds. That's it.
He averaged 22.5 rebounds a game for his career.
Rodman could
stop with your picking and choosing. You're picking and choosing again.
Shut the fuck up.
Not you,
I'm dropping
dickhead.
knowledge.
Talking to Joel.
What are you talking about? Are you
the championships?
So
I'm actually agreeing with you, moron.
So you're saying that Russell...
What point do you ever make?
You
just
with
go,
you.
oh, you're ridiculous. So stop interrupting me.
No, you picking and choosing the championships.
And you're
right? Not you, dick. I'm not even talking to you. Stop.
So shut up and stop interrupting me.
What is more? I'm not interrupting you. You're done.
We're gonna pay some bills and come back here.
I wasn't done. I'm not done.
You should have been done.
We're not done with this discussion yet.
You should have been done.
We'll be back in a minute. Crackback.
Soca sauce, hot Trinidadian flavor.
He has no girlfriend. Where'd he go?
He'll be missed.
And Crackbacks were back on the I just say he ain't got no girlfriend. Where'd he go? So as you see, Enrique had to leave. We don't know what he had to do in the quarantine here. It's not like you can go out anywhere. But anyway, he had to flex. So he
probably had to walk the dog.
Yeah,
or rub one out.
Oh, what? Yeah, I don't even think about that. If he pops up, suddenly, know what's up. All right, that was gross. So you Crackbacks are back. I'm the boy Big Pedro. BG's in the house here. We got a sign with us and the old man. CSH24 Chris is here as well. We're gonna throw it back to Getz here. We went to break on Getz telling me why I was wrong that Bill Russell should be the 4th best player in the history of the NBA. You got him at number 4. You
I don't know where he ranks.
Before
I don't know where he ranks. I didn't.
Number 4 is where ESPN has him at, and I'm saying he should be at 4.
Number 4. I don't know where he ranks. I'm just saying you're saying he's underrated, which is ridiculous because the guy won 11 titles out of 13 years. You talk about Jordan winning 6 championships, Tom Brady winning 6 championships. This dude won 11.
Let me tell you something, Matt.
And Tom Brady won 2 more as a coach.
Tom Brady winning 6 Super Bowls is a bigger feat than Bill Russell winning 11.
And first of all, let me address something that you said where he only played against 6'5" white centers. He played against one named Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, Wilt had nobody else on his team.
He was 7'2" and the most dominant force ever in sports.
But
and Bill Russell beat him in the finals time and again.
Well, the NBA changed the rules to
you can't do that, Joel.
The NBA, no, this is the truth. The NBA
you keep doing that, though. You keep picking and choosing
the rules because of Wilt Chamberlain's dominance. There was no offensive goaltending until Wilt Chamberlain came around because any shot that was on the rim, he took and stuffed it back in. So they changed the rules,
and you know who beat him in the finals multiple times?
The Celtics did.
Bill Russell.
No, I'm going to give that to Kuzi and to Havlicek more than I'm going to give it to Russell. I think those
Bill Russell was the defensive player of the year. Bill Russell used to block his shots all the time.
They won those championships because of Kuzi and Havlicek.
Then why did Bill Russell win Finals MVP against Wilt Chamberlain?
Because the NBA was trying to show that they were a progressive league and it was the 60s, so they gave it to a black guy.
Wilt Chamberlain's black. And Wilt Chamberlain was bigger than Bill Russell. And Wilt Chamberlain was bigger than Bill Russell.
Listen,
so your 6'5" white guy argument.
Hold on. I'm not saying that Bill Russell wasn't a great player. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that they have him as ESPN has him as the 4th best NBA player of all time, ahead of Magic Johnson, ahead of Wilt, ahead of Larry Bird, ahead of Tim Duncan, Shaq, and Kobe.
You could put him ahead of Wilt is fair enough.
You're not putting him ahead of Magic.
But he's not ahead of Magic.
He's absolutely not ahead of Magic. He's not ahead of Kobe. He's not ahead of Tim Duncan either.
What is the most important thing that you always say is championships trump all? Well, why is your argument wavering now?
Championship.
No. Come on. Why is Jordan better than LeBron?
We're talking about. No.
Why is Tom Brady? Is Tom Brady really the best quarterback you've ever seen?
I don't think that Tom Brady is the best quarterback. I don't think so.
But by your logic, he should be because he's won the most Super Bowls.
But no, you're putting words.
You guys use.
I never said.
You always say that.
No.
You say championships.
Let me rebuttal here.
Championships.
Michael Jordan, not the best just because of the championships. That's the icing.
That's all you say.
He was absolutely dominant. Defensive player of the year, multiple times defensive team, led the NBA in scoring for more than a decade. I mean, he was just dominant overall. The championships are just the thing that put him above LeBron because LeBron didn't do that.
LeBron hasn't done that.
LeBron has 3 and has 4 losses. So he's under 500 in the playoffs.
He also never lost in the first round of the playoffs.
He's
also never lost in the first round of the playoffs. Michael Jordan has.
He's also lost.
What is worse? Would you rather make it to the finals or lose in the first round?
What year did Michael Jordan lose in the first round?
Probably like the second year. Yeah, like second year.
1985, the year that he hurt his knee.
Okay. LeBron has taken shit teams to the finals every time and never lost in the first round because he's that good.
Yeah, but LeBron didn't have –
because he was better than everybody else.
LeBron didn't have Isaiah to deal with. LeBron didn't have Larry Bird.
LeBron also didn't have anybody on his team. He had the worst – There's 2 NBA players. There's
it
only
always
2
comes
NBA
back
players.
to the Jordan hate. It's amazing how much the Jordan hate always comes back up.
Let me just tell you this. There's only 2 players in the NBA that have taken the worst teams to the finals. You know who they are? One is LeBron, and the second one is Allen Iverson.
Yes, preach.
Those 2 were the only 2 players that were so good that could take shit-ass teams to a championship.
Yeah, neither one of them won, but
no, you're right. You're right. You know what I meant. I meant the finals. But
they got to
Jordan.
The finals.
Jordan, as good as he was, as good as you think he was, could not.
Enjoyed Iverson's trip to the finals much more. We got an iconic step over of Tyronn Lue. We had Jordan Iverson throwing 50 in the first round.
He's saying that based on a if you just look at a given moment of an accomplishment in 1 year, that nobody did more with less than LeBron. Yep. That's what he's saying.
All right, LeBron, but listen, just to put a bow on the Bill Russell thing, right? If you're playing a pickup basketball game, okay, are you picking of all the guys that are his name there? You're picking Russell ahead of Magic, ahead of Larry, ahead of Wilt, ahead of Kobe, ahead of Shaq. You're taking Bill Russell ahead of those guys.
Let me ask you this: if you take Bill Russell and put him on those Spurs teams instead of Tim Duncan, do you think they would have won more championships, less?
Didn't you have Bill Russell on your fantasy team on 2K?
Never.
No, you had Will.
Absolutely. I would never have Bill Russell on any team that I was going to have. They would win less.
Listen, I don't even like fucking Celtics. I hate the Celtics. I'm a Sixers fan.
They would win less.
But this argument is ridiculous.
And all I'm saying is he's not the 4th best player of all time. He is overrated in that fact. He's not a top 5 player in all time in the history of the NBA. He's just not. He's a great player. He's somewhere probably around 8 or 9.
Is Wilt Chamberlain? Is Wilt Chamberlain a top 5 player?
I would slide Wilt in there before I had
because Bill Russell dominated Wilt Chamberlain, and that hurts me to say. Bill I'm a Sixers guy.
Bill Russell's team
dominated him in the finals.
Bill Russell's
multiple times.
Team beat Wilt Chamberlain's team. Overall player, Wilt Chamberlain was a much more dominant player than Bill Russell was. Bill Russell's overrated, dude.
You guys are doing, you're arguing 2 separate things. Joel is saying, like, player for player, who's the more dominant guy? Like, if you were saying, you know what, I got 1 game to win, who's the center that I'm taking? He's saying he's taking Wilt Chamberlain based on his overall ability.
I'm happy they put Kareem ahead of him.
And I'm telling you that happened in real life, and Bill Russell beat him.
And I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying that Shaq would dunk on his head.
So what you're saying to Joel, it sounds to me like what Joel is saying is that Bill Russell is not only not number 4. but
Listen,
he
we all know.
he might not be the fourth center on Joel's
We
list.
all
I'm
know.
thinking now.
No, he is the fourth center because Duncan's in there as a power forward.
What do
so he
you
is the
have?
fourth
You
center.
have Kareem as number 1, right?
Kareem would be the best center of all time. Yes.
And then do you have who's second?
Then
Shaq,
it's going to be Wilt, then Shaq.
and then
But
Olajuwon.
we all know Shaq would dominate all of them. But the only thing you guys talk about is championships. So what is number 1? Championships. Championships. So Shaq isn't even on the list.
Back to championships.
Exactly.
I want you to remember
Because that's all you guys talk about.
I want you to remember this championship talk that we can pull. The nice thing about this is we can pull up the tape when at some point Tony Romo is going to come up in discussion. And I want you to remember the fact that you kept bringing up championships, all right?
Can I
So
ask,
I want you to bring the same –
let me ask-
no, hold up, man. I want you to bring the same smoke. Bring that same energy about championships.
I will.
When we're talking
it's
about
about
Tony
championships,
Romo.
because
who
I
never
don't
won
believe that.
Shit.
I don't believe
Never
that. I don't
won
believe that.
shit.
I don't believe championships make you the greatest of all time.
Then
Because
why
let me
do you
ask you
think
this.
Romo's so good?
Do you think
Romo
that
didn't
Aaron
win any
Rodgers –
championship.
let me ask you a question.
Did he win on
Let me ask you a
Madden?
question. You guys watch football, right? You watch football every day. Do you really think that Tom Brady is better than Aaron Rodgers?
I never said that Tom Brady was the
I'm
best
asking
quarterback
you
of
a
all
question.
time.
Do you think he's better than Aaron Rodgers?
As a
Good
quarterback,
segue.
Good
segue.
As a as a
I
quarterback,
actually think Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated quarterback of all time.
Then wouldn't you think Tom Brady probably is?
so what gets us saying is that Aaron Rodgers is the Bill Russell of the NFL.
Well, talent-wise, I think people are looking at pure talent. And that's when they say that Aaron Rodgers is so superior to everybody. But what I'll say is, no, I personally, to answer Sage's question, no, I don't take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady if I'm building a team, because I think overall, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying this. If you want a guy, like talent-wise, yes, Aaron Rodgers is your guy, right? But how come he only has 1 Super Bowl? We have to start.
Okay.
We have to
Because let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
If he's the
Aaron
elite
Rodgers
guy that everybody says, he should at least have 2 or 3 titles. Big Ben has 2 championships. Like,
Word up.
Because of defense. Because of defense.
Wow,
Aaron Rodgers on New England. If Aaron Rodgers was on New England, do you think that they would not have any more Super Bowls?
You could say that about anybody. You put them on New England and they have rings.
Does
you
it
can say that about
make
absolutely
them
any quarterback?
Belichick has rings.
Anybody other than Matt Stafford and Dwayne Haskins, you can say.
And Spurgeon win.
And then what? Well, that guy's not even a real quarterback.
Spurgeon wins.
He only pulled that name out because Spurgeon wins real light skin. So, but you can throw anybody on New England, and they would win a championship. That's a really bad analogy. But
no, it's not. So why is he the greatest of all time then? If you could throw anybody on that team,
he was the greatest of all time. I don't
well,
have
everybody.
most
everybody does.
He's the greatest.
I
winner.
don't say
He's
that.
the greatest winner
All right,
of all time, but he's not the greatest quarterback.
Okay, so here's what you say, Sage, and to you gets to. Here's how you remember. 2K came out with the game, and so let's bring it up now. Here's how you know who you would take. If we're building a fantasy team, it's in the draft. It's your round to take a quarterback. Everybody is on the board. Who do you take as your starting quarterback for your franchise football team? Who do you take?
Can I go?
You go Gets first.
Out of all the quarterbacks that I've ever seen play in the NFL, if I'm drafting one
Rick Meyer
for their whole, I got them for their whole career.
Yeah,
I'm taking John Elway.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I don't think that's a bad pick, Joel.
Because John Elway took 3 bum-ass teams to the Super Bowl with nobody. And then at the end of his career, got a running game, got a good coach, came back and won 2 when he was like 45 years old.
And one of those years, I think, was an MVP season, actually, too.
Yeah, and in those years when Joe Montana was winning titles with the Niners, I guarantee you, same type of argument we were just having, if you put John Elway on those Niners teams, he would have ripped off like 6 or 7 bowls.
Yeah. Because Joe,
he was bigger. He was stronger in the pocket. He was more mobile. He had a stronger arm.
Joe was more of a product of the 49ers system than
the quarterback. The quarterback position in football really depends on where you land.
Yeah, I mean,
so Joe, who's your starting quarterback now? Elway's off the board. Who's your guy?
I mean, if Elway,
Chris Winkie,
or Chris Leak.
Oh, Chris Lee, wow. Elway's the greatest combination of athlete and quarterback that the NFL had, because he could run, he could throw the whole nine. So you took who I would have picked if you would put me first.
Me too.
I would have picked Elway. I'm not gonna go Montana. I'm actually gonna go with somebody who was on the short end of the stick thanks to Scott Norwood. But Jim Kelly never gets remembered when people talk about great quarterbacks. And Jim
Kelly was nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Was absolutely
and he
nasty.
could have easily won 3 or 4.
Absolutely nasty. And though they got blown out in a couple of those Super Bowls. The one particularly against the Cowboys was ugly. But the first one they should have won. The first one, Norwood, that's a very makeable kick. If Norwood makes that kick, history remembers Jim Kelly completely different. He called his own plays on the field. He ran that offense.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He ran that offense to perfection without any coaching help from the sideline. Marv Levy was 1,000 years old.
Jim Kelly won at every level. Jim Kelly won at the University of Miami. Then Jim Kelly went to the USFL and won with the Houston Gamblers. Then he went to the Bills and started ripping off.
Gamblers here.
So that's wow. To give him a little respect.
I'm a historian, Esan. I'm trying to drop knowledge.
I'm gonna take and who people remember because when he ran the K gun, he threw the ball a lot. But when he in college and even in the USFL, Jim Kelly could move a little bit. He had some wheels on him. So I'm because history doesn't remember him fondly because fucking Scott Norwood missed a kick. But yeah, I'm putting Jim Kelly on my squad.
All right, so Sage, who is your starting quarterback?
Wait, that's your second pick?
I didn't want to just go with Montana and Jim Kelly. I want a guy who's going to call his own plays on the field.
You guys going to force me to pick Marino?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'll take Marino.
I also would never ever pick a Dolphin.
Wait, you're taking Marino with your first pick?
Well, I can't pick Elway.
You're taking Marino over Montana.
You pick whoever you want. It's not like we're
this guy.
I thought Esan was like,
I didn't pick anybody.
No,
I was going last.
Hassan said that Elway was off the board. That's
I was going last. I was going to go last.
Elway's my favorite football player of all time.
So then
that's why Elway would be your number one pick.
So if you couldn't get Elway, you're saying you would take Marino in that spot, right?
Nah, man, damn. You know what?
Randall Cunningham.
I'll take Mahomes.
Mahomes? Okay, that's
Mahomes.
fine.
3 years in, you grabbing Mahomes already?
That's fine.
I'm grabbing Mahomes.
So now
I can't do Marino.
Now I have the easy choice because you left me with Joe in that case. I have to take Joe.
No, well, I knew you were taking Joe to begin with. You love Joe.
Well, I'll take Joe in that spot, and because you know what, Joe and Tom Brady are very, very similar. If you look at their career arcs, they're both almost the same guy. Like, remember Joe? If Joe doesn't play for Bill Walsh and he goes to Cincinnati, is he the same guy?
No, he's Boomer Esiason.
You see what I'm saying?
But Cincinnati played them in a Super Bowl.
That was a very entertaining Super Bowl too. It was a great
Actually,
Super Bowl.
2 Super Bowls.
If Joe goes to Baltimore instead of the 49ers, is he the same guy? Those are the questions that you have to ask.
And if Tom Brady is anywhere else, he's not even in the league.
And if Tom Brady's on Jacksonville,
that's one of the reasons why I took Jim Kelly. You throw Jim Kelly on any team, he's gonna play well. Same thing with Elway. Elway was almost a Colt.
Yeah, so what we agree upon.
Elway had played for the Colts, Elway still would have been nasty. Montana, good situation for him. Even Marino kind of was a good situation. They would let him do whatever he wanted, toss the ball.
Randall Cunningham, wherever he went, he was a weapon.
The only problem with Cunningham is that Cunningham got a little reckless. That was the only. I love Cunningham.
He didn't study the playbook. He didn't watch film. So when he got in the playoffs, he got worked.
I just think the reason I said Montana is because I think that Montana is probably the smartest quarterback that you've watched play. I mean, if you watch him play and operate and how a lot of guys have done it. Peyton Manning became that guy later. A lot of the guys that were calling their own plays, the stuff you're saying Jim Kelly was doing. Like a lot of these guys that did that later on, Andrew Luck and all those guys, you like Jim Kelly because he was kind of almost like the first guy that was doing that you can remember, right?
And the only reason that Jim Kelly isn't remembered as one of the greats is because Norwood missed a kick. If he has that one ring, he's remembered completely different. Now, we had on the flip side of that, we had Aaron Rodgers, and I know the Gets had a hot take there that Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated. quarterback.
I don't even understand who you are, Joe.
He said of all time, right?
No, but who's
Of
your most
all time.
Who's your? Oh, so I guess it's going straight out the bat. Most overrated quarterback of all time for him is Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Who's yours, Hassan?
Overrated?
Most overrated quarterback of all time.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
It's a little harder than the underrated than the underrated one, or than the best one of all time.
Overrated is tough.
Overrated.
And you're just talking NFL career.
I'm just talking NFL career. I can throw one out for you right now if you're thinking, and there's probably going to be some argument coming when I toss
but
it out
Joel,
there.
I know what you're going to say.
Who am I going to say?
Are you going Drew Brees?
Absolutely not. I'm not going Drew Brees. I'm going.
He hates
Troy.
He hates Stafford. Joel's gonna say Stafford.
No, Stafford's just terrible. Stafford's not even in the conversation.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Stafford is not terrible.
Troy Aikman, I agree.
Troy Aikman is overrated. Troy Aikman was on a loaded football team. Didn't really do
championships.
Much hand the ball off to Emmitt Smith.
That's all that matters.
Dominant. The best offensive line in the history of football. He was a product. The same question we said about the other ones. If you took Aikman and you put him on,
Troy Aikman was pretty deep. He was one of the most accurate passers.
If they took him and they put him on the Lions, does he still win all 3 championships? Absolutely.
But here's the thing about Aikman.
Quarterback.
Here's the thing about Aikman. Even though that team was loaded, he was clutch. He was money under pressure. He had like the best third down percentage
for a while.
ever, Troy Aikman. And I had to watch it because I'm an Eagles fan, so I had to watch Aikman just shred us.
He sucked too for a while after Emmitt and those guys started to tail off. Aikman had about 2 or 3 or 4 years where he sucked. Like remember,
Dallas, he was old his damn self, and he was getting all kinds of concussions.
Dallas would be like 5-11.
And another guy on the
10.
flip side of Jim Kelly, who does have a ring but doesn't have any numbers. Phil Simms is remembered as being a much better football player than he actually was
because of the ring. Because
he got the ring in '87, but he has 2. But the second one, Hostetler got for him.
But also he had the 22 of 22 game against.
Yeah, he had an unbelievable game in the Super Bowl.
He had an unbelievable game.
But that was it.
The 22 of 22 game. Yeah, wasn't he perfect in the game, or 21 of 22 or something?
Yeah, he was. I think he was perfect.
He might have been perfect.
Yeah, I think
it was like 22 of 25, I think.
That was
22 of 25. Something ridiculous, whatever it was.
That was against Elway.
It was against Denver, right? Was it against Denver?
Well, you want to talk about
when they had a bum ass team?
I was about to say, say talking about LeBron pulling crap teams to championship, levels. Those teams that Elway dragged into the Super Bowl that eventually got blasted in the Super Bowl because the rest of the team was just.
Remember they weren't better than Cleveland the year that they went into Cleveland and won there.
No, Cleveland should have won that game.
Yeah,
but
the miracle.
Yeah, with Biner.
There you talk about. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
What a great drive.
Kevin Mack, Bernie Kosar.
Yep.
Webster Slaughter.
Exactly. Yep. Webster Slaughter. It was heartbreak for
that
Cleveland,
that was a hell of a Madden team, that Cleveland team. Ernest Biner.
Yeah.
Ernest Biner was that dude.
Yeah, you could bring him in and spell Kevin Mack if you wanted to.
Cleveland still hasn't recovered. That's
Biner was the one that fumbled on the goal line, right?
That's the worst organization.
Yeah, but Kosar was balling too that season. He was balling.
Yeah, Kosar was a good quarterback.
The whole year he was balling.
When you could keep Kosar sober, he was a good quarterback. Or did he play better
drunk?
No,
I think he was drunk.
He was definitely drunk.
He was
better drunk?
Yeah, he was better drunk.
At all times, he was better drunk. He was like the guy
balled
from
out
Beer Fest.
drunk, dude. That's when he fell off.
He was like Barry Badranat. He's better when he's drunk.
David Wells, the no-hitter when he was hungover.
Hungover. He was on acid.
Yeah, David Wells was on acid. He admitted.
That was a different dude. I thought. No, that was.
No, it was David Wells.
That was multiple
the
times
70s
for him, though.
No. Mark the Bird Fidrich did it as well, but David Wells 100% took acid and threw a no-hitter for the Yankees. Yeah. At 340 pounds.
Wasn't against Seattle or somebody like that.
I can't remember.
Sounds like a good idea.
I knew he was on acid. Acid has given us a lot of great music. I actually talked to Getz about this the other day. Music sucks now because the artists don't use acid anymore. The 60s and the 70s, all they did was acid. We had great music from everybody.
I knew that Sage was a big-time baseball guy.
Apparently, lean doesn't give you good music.
Wow. It doesn't. I knew Sage was a big-time baseball fan when he knew who Jeff Treadway was and what his numbers were in a particular year. That's how I knew that he was a big-time baseball fan.
Sage played college ball with Andujar Cedeno.
Hey, Sage, okay, do you remember?
Andujar Cedeno.
No, Sage is a big-time baseball guy. You can throw names at Sage from back in the day, and he'll know those guys.
All old people are big baseball people.
He used to hang out with Mark Kotze.
Yeah.
Wow.
All old people are baseball historians. They were around. He would grab read the paper and see what the Bambino was doing.
Yeah, it was back then. He'll tell you about when Ted Williams.
Read the box score.
The MVP year he had.
Well, we're gonna be wrapping it up here because we're way over time, but that's fine, whatever. But when you say box score, I long for the days where we have a box score to read. We haven't had sports now; it's going on 2 months.
Phillies are in spring training. Bryce Harper was shooting out pictures.
Sport. We've only had the UFC, and everyone was happy to have the UFC there. Baseball. I'm not getting up to watch Korean baseball at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I hope the MLB gets going. And NFL is said that they are almost have everything in place to play without fans. Fox and NBC said they would pipe in crowd noise to keep the.
That's so stupid.
Who cares? Yeah.
That's gonna look dumb, man.
So no, but remember a few years ago they had a laser trail on I think it was on hockey pucks.
Yeah.
So they got rid of that real quick when people started complaining. So I don't think that crowd noise will hang around for too long. I mean, the hearing everything at the UFC was kind of cool. It was funny that at one point, was it it's Sugar Shane? What's his name? Rashad Evans? Rashad Evans was like, "Oh man, I guess I got to watch how loud I'm talking because the fighters can actually hear him." He said they were taking tips from him that he was actually talking so loud. So
the one guy said he was listening to the other guys' coaches because he said, "I like to hear them panic."
That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, that's savage.
That's awesome. Well, everybody out there, you try not to panic. We're gonna get into the corona and hopefully we'll have some live sports coming back. Crackbacks. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Peace.